Instead of having the 6 races that we've had, I guess forever, Hispanic is no longer a race, it's an ethnicity. So let's talk about these 4473s. These are the forms that are required by the 1968 Gun Control Act for any legal purchaser of a firearm to complete and fill out accurately with the federal firearms licensee or the gun shop, the FFL dealer who's selling the firearm. Now I've got a couple here, one from early 2005, one a little bit later in 2005, one from 2008, and then finally the newest one that they just started on the 9th of July this year, 2012. So I thought we'd take a quick look. Now I've talked about 4473s before, but briefly, again, this is the form that you need to fill out in order to legally purchase a firearm from a dealer. And the purpose of this is, again, to comply with the 1968 Gun Control Act, which allegedly is going to keep guns out of the hands of all kinds of bad people. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to fill out information that talks about yourself, and that includes things like your name, address, place of birth, height, weight, gender, birth date, social security number if you want, the different race you might be, as far as the state of residence, the country of citizenship, and if you're not a citizen of the United States, it is possible to buy a firearm in some instances. You're going to answer the 10 questions from the 1968 Gun Control Act, which have to do with if you are the purchaser, so that you're not a straw purchaser. In other words, you're not buying a firearm for someone else who isn't able to buy a firearm. That is a felony. You're not under the indictment of any court, or you're not a felon, that you haven't been convicted of any crime which the judge could have convicted you for more than a year. You're not a fugitive from justice. You're not an unlawful user of drugs or marijuana. You've never been found mentally defective. You've never been discharged dishonorably from the military. You're not subject to any court order, such as restraining order. You've never had a misdemeanor crime of domestic violence. You've never renounced your citizenship. You are not an illegal alien. And if you are a non-immigrant alien, again, it's possible, I guess, to get a firearm. I'm not familiar with that process. Lastly, you sign and date that you are saying that this is all accurate. And then finally, the stuff on the back is for the person who's selling the gun, the FFL dealer, to fill out. Now, they're going to keep these forms in their possession. So that's what a 4473 is, and that's briefly what this early one from 2005 looked like. Let's just take a quick look. It's basically 2 pages. The page for one side of a page for all the information from the buyer, one side of the second page for all the information from the seller. Flip it over, and it's the instructions for all the stuff written in about 6th grade level, in case you have any questions about what you're filling out here. So let's take a look at this one, which came out just a few months later in 2005. And I forget it now, so many years later, why they had to make that change, but we're basically looking at the same information. However, for some reason they decided to drop the signature and the date down to the second page. Again, the information from the seller, and then you get a little bit of blank space down here. Somehow they made that into 3 pages, and again, you got some blank space down here. Okay, it's the government for you. What are you going to do? Sometimes they waste a half a page of paper. So now we fast forward to 2008, and I think this is the next time they made a change to the 4473. This time they made it into a booklet. Yay, so we don't have to have obnoxious pages that open up like that. Again, information about you, the 10 items from the 1968 Gun Control Act that you need to check. Notice they went from having to fill in the blank with a yes or a no to just checking the box. I don't know if that's better or worse. Next, your signature and your date is on the next page. You may want to notice too that back in the day when you were buying a firearm, it was recorded as either a handgun or a long gun or both. That was it. There's pistols, there's rifles, and there's both. Like you were buying a rifle and a pistol at the time. Now in the new, those last ones we had, these ones from 2008, it was handgun, long gun, or other firearms. So now they decided that frames, receivers, etc. are also a firearm. And boy, did that throw a wrench into things. Mostly bureaucratic confusion, but confusion nonetheless. Again, information from the seller, and then we have half a page, 2 full pages, and then a 3rd page of instructions. And just to save the environment, we threw a completely blank piece of paper at the end of it. Enough said. So that was the one we used for quite a while. But on January 9th, they decided, hey, let's do a new one. So we've got this one revised from 2012. Pretty much the same thing. Information about you, information that are the 10 questions from the 1968 Gun Control Act, information from the seller, and a couple of pages of instructions. And thanks to Obama caring about the environment, we got rid of that blank page. I should also mention that this is also printed on some sort of like construction paper or newspaper print. These are all documents, legal documents, you know, they're regular pieces of paper, they can do that. This, it rips like if you touch it more than 4 times. I don't know what they were thinking. But here's the reason why we posted this video. Instead of having the 6 races that we've had, I guess forever, which are American Indian or Alaskan Native, Hispanic or Latino, Black or African American, Asian, Native Hawaiian or other Pacific Islander, or white. So, you know, whatever you think of those 6 categories, let's take a look at the new ones. Well, Hispanic is no longer a race, it's an ethnicity. So everybody has to choose whether or not they're Hispanic or not Hispanic. And we don't want to say Hispanic, we want to also add Latino in there. Then of course we can have our races, which are the same. American Indian, Asian, Black, Native Hawaiian, or white. So is the ATF racist? Does Obama want to know how many Hispanics own guns? Why would there be a whole nother form there, or a whole nother checkbox there? Well, I'm no politician, I'm no bureaucrat. I just thought it was interesting. Thanks for watching.
The guys and gals of GunWebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thanks for watching GunWebsites.com.
In this video, we're going to talk about sushi and shotguns. Oh, wait a minute. We're not going to talk about this stuff at all.